Before I begin Ben Yurich's story, which is my story, I must report to you a sight that I saw in a lifetime some time ago in a peaceful stone building in Jerusalem. There I watched a man from the corner of the room. Slithering quietly, I could see Yeshua Ha-Nozri with his so-called disciples standing in front of him. Judas of Kiriath was kneeling before him. Worshipful Master. I heard Judas of Kiriath call him, and I knew who they were and why they were sent. Pantera was standing with his ring finger touching his thumb. His pinky was sticking up, and his middle and pointer finger were wrapped around each other. The look on his face was one of self-righteous contemplation, and in his eyes I could see there was none he could do wrong, at least as he saw it. His disciples were surrounding him in their white robes with their wide eyes. Pantera had initiated them into the mysteries, and they were well schooled in those divine riddles which escape us in these modern times. Slithering in the corner, I took in the whole scene as though it was some kind of a pleasant pastel painting of a pastoral nature. But I would take the wisdom from his eyes, or rather I would take the wisdom from the one eye, and not the one eye of which Pantera referenced in regards to the rich man and the camel. I tell you this, when he stood in front of me, in his robes, with his baubles and trinkets, and his followers like goblins hanging on his every word, I knew the man for the fruit that he bore. His branches were bowed and heavy, and they hung over the heads of his disciples like the bars in a prison. Their eyes clung to him when he spoke. My disciples in the craft, my children who I suffer, take your place in front of your master. I see one of you is missing. It is my most trusted initiate, Mary the alchemist, the mage from Magdala. But she needs not hear this, for she has the eyes to see and the ears to hear. She knows the lessons that the 3 wise men from Persia taught me. She knows the truth of what is veiled in allegory. She knows there is nothing fouler than a Roman centurion. She knows my teachings will be disguised and covered up in time. In the future, they will teach some kind of Roman Hellenism as my craft, and those that follow will not bother with knowing. But you are now initiated into the mysteries. I am the morning star, and I will make my kingdom on earth. Here in hell, in the realm of the dead, Sheol. Here in the realm of the demiurge, you will have everlasting life through me. As Pantera stood before their venerating eyes, a robed and cloaked woman crossed the threshold into the large stone room with bare furnishings. She removed her hood, standing beside Pantera as she looked into his eyes, before dropping to her ankles to kiss his feet. The other disciples seemed to lose it upon sight of Mary's ordination of kisses. We must rise up against the Romans and bring about your kingdom on earth, Mary said before rising to her feet. As she stood, Yeshua leaned over and lay a tender kiss on Mary's forehead. But I could not stand to watch anymore. In fact, I could not stand at all. So, crawling on my belly, I exited from the devil's house. For somehow, there were those that could not understand that when a man said he intended to make his kingdom on earth, that the only kingdom he could be referencing is hell. For I will reveal to you the same lesson that old Yeshua Ha-Nozri taught to his followers, those worshipful Masons. That lesson is that earth is the realm of the dead, the kingdom of the demiurge, the craftsman, or god of the physical world. In hell, as it is on earth, the devil reigns supreme. In hell, the devil can bestow upon you everlasting life. The gnosis of Yeshua is as such, and the deception, which has kept you from that wisdom, has been total. Now that you know the realm that you rest in, what will you do? For it was known even in ancient times that we struggle in the grip of archons, who are the puppet masters of our fate. Because these archontic forces are ever shifting and changing shape, we are constantly fluctuating between different realities. And though we dwell in one reality, it does not guarantee all those that we encounter wax and wane under the same moon. We are forever drifting in a stream of consciousness which is pulling from the waters of all source. To understand Ben Yorish's story, you must understand the realm. To understand my story, you must understand the realm. And most importantly of all, you must understand the serpent is Ben Yorish, and Ben Yorish is the serpent. But now you know that you are a slave in hell, and at least if you know, you stand a chance at escaping.